Elise here at Bowen Library and our teen section with a whole new teen book spotlight. So our theme for this week, because it is the start of Black History Month, we are exploring some of our amazing books that we have here written by some incredible Black and African American authors. So we have a whole variety. There's something for everyone. So let's dive on in. Our first one is Who Put This Song On by Morgan Parker. So Morgan has been struggling with a lot lately. She's been battling with depression and anxiety. She lives in a small suburban California town, which is mostly white, and she's attending a private evangelical Christian high school where she regularly experiences racism from her peers and teachers as they comment on her clothing, choice of music, and how she acts like a white girl. When she finds herself in therapy after an attempted suicide, she wants to get happy. She wants to learn to love who she is and embrace her Blackness. With a group of outcast friends who are also in therapy, she goes on this adventure of self-discovery and realization that every reader can relate to. Based on the author's teenage years, you will feel all of the emotions with Morgan, along with experiencing her journey through her growth in mental health. This is Who Put This Song On. Light It Up by Kekla Magoon. So the community that this takes place in has already experienced tragedy. 2 years later, everything comes to a head though when 13-year-old Shay leaves to go to school, but she never makes it there. Because as she's walking down the street on the sidewalks, just listening to music, she is shot and killed by a white police officer. From there, you as the reader will see the events unfold through the eyes of numerous points of view, from the witness who saw everything to the local community leader who wants to use what happened to implement change, even the local gang leader who wants it to use this to solidify his power in the community, as well as the daughter of the police officer that is at the heart of this tragedy. This timely and realistic novel is one that will literally put you right there in the moment. Again, told through multiple points of view, you will find yourself immersed in this story, making your own opinions, which you will find change throughout the course of the book based on who is talking and what they're explaining. Highly recommended. This is Light It Up. One of my personal favorites. Like when I do my favorites book talk, this could easily be on the list. First, because it's by an amazing author. Second, it is a pretty incredible book. This is Monster by Walter Dean Myers. So Steve Harmon is 16 years old and he's on trial for his life, literally. He is accused of murdering a shop owner, but he didn't actually murder the shop owner. The prosecution is saying that he was the lookout for his friends who went inside the store and committed the crime, which makes him part of the murder. But Steve does not agree with that. His side is he had no idea what was going to happen, and he just happened to be friends with those people, and he just happened to be at that place, and then everything went down, and he had no idea. As he listens to how he's described by the prosecution, though, that he is this cold-hearted monster, Steve starts to wonder if he really is one and what happened to him to make him that way. This is written completely in screenwriting format, as if you are reading a movie or a TV show of the trial. And what I mean by that is you open it up, and it's literally like a screenplay, like the person and what they said, and yeah. You will find yourself changing your mind and opinion of what happened numerous times, not knowing what is wrong or who is right, or even up until the end. Again, you will, once you start reading this book, you will not put this book down. This is Monster by Walter Dean Myers. One of my new favorite authors, this is Dear Martin by Nick Stone. She is so good. So Justice is getting ready to graduate high school, but he feels caught between two worlds. He's attending an elite private school, and the school's done its job. He is Ivy League bound, but at what cost to his identity, as he lives in a mostly black neighborhood, but attends a mostly white school. When he's at the neighborhood, he's told that he is not black enough, and while he's at school, he's accused of not only getting into Yale because of affirmative action, but because he gets special treatment as well. Things change, though, when he is pulled over and placed in handcuffs when trying to help his inebriated girlfriend get home. And he had done nothing wrong. When the police officer is cleared of the incident, Justice soon realizes that he starts to, see that there is way more racism in the world than what he ever thought to look at. As he starts to get angry, he turns to the words of Martin Luther King Jr. to make sense of everything around him. So this is completely told in journal format. You will find yourself living the world through the eyes of justice. It'll make you way more aware of everything that's going on around you as well. There was a sequel to this called Dear Justice that literally just came out. It is just as good as Dear Martin. Highly recommended. All-American Boys by Jason Reynolds and Brendan Keeley. If you've watched enough of these, you know how much I love Jason Reynolds. And this book is no exception. So Rashad Butler decides to stop by the corner store on a Friday night to buy some chips as he's getting ready to go to a party. While there, he is mistaken for a shoplifter by a police officer. While Rashad tries to explain that he is not indeed a shoplifter, he also refuses to leave the store. It is then that he is taken to the ground and beaten by this police officer. The only witnesses to this incident are the security camera and Quinn. Quinn is a classmate of Rashad's. He's on the same basketball team, and also he's basically the adopted son of the police officer who's involved in this as well. Quinn doesn't know what to think or believe, but as soon he starts to realize that racism is still as strong as ever, and the school and community start to take sides, Quinn will need to take one as well. This is told through 2 points of view throughout the course of 1 week. It is timely and it's a relevant story that it's a must-read for every reader. Jason Reynolds writes Rashad's point of view. Brendan Keeley writes Quinn's point of view. So you get this unique perspective from these two authors, All-American Boys. And our last one for today is When You Were Everything by Ashley Woodfolk. So Cleo and Layla have been best friends since middle school, but things slowly start to change when they enter their sophomore year. When Layla tries out for choir and she starts to make friends with other girls in that world, Cleo soon finds herself feeling left behind and unsure of what is happening to their friendship. This starts to happen slowly at first, and then the progression starts to speed up, and they each play a role, and sometimes their roles are just downright mean and nasty in their friendship's downfall, and they both start to learn who they are as individuals. This is told in 2 alternating timelines, the before and the after. You will find yourself right there with Cleo as she discovers things about herself as well as the people she holds near and dear. I just listened to this book a couple weeks ago. I highly recommend this book. Even the audio was great. This piece of realistic fiction is one that everyone can relate to at some point in time, especially when dealing with friendship. When You Were Everything. So these are just 6 of the books that we have here in our YA section at Bowman Library that feature Black and African American authors. But we have way more than just these 6. So feel free to come on down to the library, check out one of these, or we are here to help you find that perfect book you are looking for. I hope you tune back next week when we have a whole new teen book spotlight, and have a great week.